Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to cover Trump's new immigration initiative, the Gold Card. Is this a bold new opportunity for investors, or is this just a high-priced EB-5 visa? Also, is this even legal? We're going to dive right in. President Trump, alongside Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, has just unveiled a new visa program called the Gold Card. And this allows wealthy foreign nationals to gain access to a green card, or now it's called a gold card, which is lawful permanent residence by investment of $5 million. So even though it's called a gold card, this is not a fancy new visa card. This is a pathway towards citizenship, because once a person has lawful permanent residency, after 5 years, they can apply for U.S. citizenship through naturalization. So even though it's being marketed as a gold card, it is essentially selling a green card. Trump has suggested that this new gold card will replace the existing EB-5 visa. So we are going to talk about what the similarities are between both of these programs and the differences. Let's first start with the similarities. Both of them are investment visas. So they are for people who want to come to the United States and stay here permanently. And they also involve a pathway towards lawful permanent residency and eventually citizenship. They also both require a significant financial investment, and they both require a person to be vetted. Now, the administration uses the word vetted, but what does that actually mean in immigration terms? It means a person must be admissible to the United States. There are many grounds of inadmissibility, most commonly criminal grounds. So if a person has maybe on their record a theft offense, drug offense, or it could be pretty much anything. There's a lot of different offenses that are listed that could disqualify an individual. There are also health-related grounds of inadmissibility. Also, if a person has prior immigration violations, such as a visa overstay, misrepresentation, or prior illegal entry. So just because you have the money doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to get this gold card. Okay, now let's talk about what sets the gold card apart from the EB-5 visa. Number one, the EB-5 visa requires a minimum investment of as little of $800,000 if it's in a rural or unemployment area, whereas the gold card requires a minimum of $5 million and no discounts so far. Second difference is who makes the investment. In an EB-5 visa, the investment is coming from the applicant himself, the person who's applying for this visa and eventually the green card. And that investment has to be traced back to the applicant or the investor. But with the gold card, Trump is suggesting that the person who makes the investment could be a company, which is more similar to an employment-based visa than an investor visa. And if that's the case, it definitely raises some questions. For example, is it the employer that has to make this investment, or could the employee also contribute to the investment? Who owns the investment? And also, is this simply just creating a loophole for employers to buy green cards for their employees? Now, two more differences I want to point out is the economic impact and the implementation of both of these visas. So with the EB-5, the economic impact was that an investor would create at least 10 full-time jobs. Now, with the gold card, it remains unclear whether Trump is going to require that the applicant, it could be, again, it sounds like the employer, or it will be the wealthy foreign investor, is going to have to create jobs or not. It seems like the answer, I predict, will be no, because once Trump gets that $5 million for the US, he will be happy, and that will be helping lower our deficit. Next is the implementation. The EB-5 visa was implemented by Congress in 1990, while Trump is attempting to implement the gold card by himself with an executive order. So these are definitely some differences that we're going to look into later. Now, this brings us to the big question. Can Trump successfully bypass Congress and implement the gold card program on his own through an executive action? The answer, not so fast. We know that Congress has the authority to implement programs involving visas by the Immigration and Nationality Act, known as the INA. And we also know that the EB-5 program was authorized by Congress in 1990, and it was reauthorized by Congress just recently in 2022, all the way until 2027 by the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act. So can Trump just simply erase the EB-5 program without Congress's authorization? Not so fast. Okay, so what is my prediction on the success of this green card? Well, if it is structured like the EB-5 visa program, then yes, it will definitely attract a lot of foreign wealthy investors who want a straightforward path towards lawful permanent residence and eventually citizenship. However, without congressional approval, we know that it is going to be challenged in court. And with such a high price tag of $5 million, the question is how many people can really afford this or will be interested? So there are still a lot of unanswered questions, but the one thing we know for sure is this is a major shakeup in immigration policy.